Hey everybody, welcome to Watch Again podcast. I'm Julian.
And I'm Jeremy. Welcome back to another awesome episode. You know, Julian, I have to say, the last time we spoke, it was about Westworld. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people came back to us and were a little upset that I said watch Westworld cautiously.
I would completely agree with your opinion because did I not say I feel like it's just going to be Blade Runner, the TV show?
Yeah, you did. But Blade Runner, you know, I got to say, I mean, it's a cinematic masterpiece, first of all.
Again, just like Westworld, it looks really good. But it's about robots who want to be treated like people or better than people, depending on, you know, which ones you talk to. Like you look at Bernard, he just wants to be a person. But Dolores just wants to kill everybody.
But I'm telling you, this season of Westworld, we are going to find out that Dolores is going to save the world from the machines. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be. At the end of the day,
I hope it's the last freaking season.
That's what it's going to be. Westworld season 3, last season, it will come out with a bang, and technology will be gone. That's what's going to happen.
I'll be okay with that. I'm okay with that,
folks. Julian, let me ask you another question, though.
Do you miss me?
Well, we've been practicing social distancing, and it's hard to do this with no one here.
I know.
I'm like by myself in my apartment doing this.
It's me just staring at the camera, wondering where you are, what you're doing. I don't even know if you're wearing pants today. Are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants, though I will say I'm wearing shorts. So, you know, it all depends on the eye of the beholder here. But I must say, one more thing before we go to our main recommendations. A lot of you wrote to us and said how much you hated Jessica from Love is Blind.
Oh, God.
And I will tell you, the feeling is mutual. 100% mutual. She knew what she was doing the entire time. None of her friends showed up to the wedding. Like, come on, people.
If it's not The Bachelor, I'm not watching it.
Well, I mean, this season of The Bachelor, though, is pretty pathetic. You literally started off where you ended. Peter by himself looking sad. That last scene where Peter is sitting there and his mom is like, you gotta fail to succeed.
Oh, God.
Barb for president or something like that. I don't know.
But let's talk about things we like. How's that
go
sound?
ahead. Yeah, why don't you start off this time? Give us something you liked that you saw recently, and hopefully it was something good.
It was something really good. As you know, Jeremy, I love anything that's like a scathing expose, you know, uncovering the truth about things that we're just either not seeing or not talking about enough.
You're the reason why I have a hard time using plastic now.
Everyone should have a hard time using plastic, especially one-time use plastics, because that stuff is not recyclable. Go watch Broken. It's a very good series. So this one is a lot like Broken, different set of people, but it's called Dirty Money on Netflix.
How could the wife of a politician afford such luxury?
I think he thought he could get away with it. Guardianship exploitation is the crime of the 21st century.
This is supposed to be America.
Nobody cares. As long as the money is flowing, the business continues.
So essentially what Dirty Money is, it's actually the same sort of idea as Broken. We take a story or a topic that, you know, no one's really talking about or hasn't really gone into depth about, and do a big scathing expose, like I just said. But so this time we're talking about the Wells Fargo scandal. We're diving in on Jared Kushner and the sort of skeevy things that he does in New York. I wrote down his name. Hang on. It's really hard to say. It was the Malaysian Prime Minister.
Okay.
I can't find it. So, Minister Najib Kazak, who did some really crazy stuff like moving the country's money around. Hang on, I'm going to dive into this one for a hot second. Okay. So this guy in Malaysia, big sort of populist kind of prime minister, gets into power, and then he creates this fund. And the whole idea is he's going to take his people's money, put it into the fund, invest it, and essentially give them back dividends, right? Because that makes sense. Sounds like a halfway decent idea. So, But essentially what happens is he gets scammed out of like $4 billion by one of the producers of Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that's a great film. One of my best.
Yeah.
Have I told you that I have a job offer for you at Stratton Oakmont?
No, I'm good. I don't want any of their money. So they go into a really big, you know, background on, you know, why this guy came into power, how he got out of power, and how he lost all his money. They also go into sort of the background of what's happening with gold and a small town in Texas dealing with a plastics facility that they're trying to get rid of.
Okay.
So the series is about 6 episodes long. Some episodes are about an hour. Some are a little bit longer. There's also a previous season. So this is season 2. The one I actually fell into season 1 for like a hot second one night, and I started watching it, and it was the one on Donald Trump, which I thought was extremely interesting.
Okay.
But every episode is pretty much the same. We're going to go into, why these people are horrible or what they're doing that's so bad and why we need to be talking about it. The show is called Dirty Money, and it's on Netflix.
That's pretty nice. I mean, Dirty Money sounds like it's going to be an educational show for the whole family.
It is not. It's really for someone with a general idea of what's happening in the world that wants to know more. But what I would recommend is if you do have little kids, literally just put on Disney Plus. Just put on Disney Plus.
I gotta tell you,
anything and everything that's on there. Yep.
Monsters Inc., Monsters
Open
University,
up the vault. Just
Robin
open up
Hood.
the vault. Open up the vault. Everything is so good.
And Black Panther's on there. The Lion King's on there. King's on there.
So we're covering little kids, slightly older kids, kids who climb on rocks, that whole thing.
Well,
Disney
think about
Plus.
it though. Like, great, everyone's kind of stuck at home. School is closed right now, and so it's kind of good to let parents know that there's something for their kid to watch that's on TV. That's not all going to be about COVID-19 or about the economy. I mean, those are tough topics.
Yeah, it's stuff you generally don't want to talk about with your kids unless they have some general understanding. But what about you, Jeremy? Did you watch anything good? Anything you'd like us to see other than Love is Blind?
Well, Love is Blind, first of all, is one of the best reality shows on TV, and Cam and Jasmine forever. But here's what I'm going to say about this. I actually didn't see anything I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. But what I did see, though, is something that has piqued my curiosity and interest. This is a show on Hulu that is actually produced by Reese Witherspoon's production company, and it is called Little Fires Everywhere.
So rent is $300 a month, well below market, but it's really not about the money for us.
So you rented it to her on the spot, just like that. Do you even know anything about this woman?
What is it that you do? I'm an artist.
And then you ask her to come work in our house?
It is a beautiful thing to know that your actions can affect another person's life.
So Little Fires Everywhere actually takes place in the 1990s, which is one of the first jarring things you find out, because we're so used to these new TV shows coming out, and they literally have 2020 stamped on them when they come out. Unless it's a period piece, then it's like way back in the 50s or something like from the Charlotte Bronte era, right? The thing that I thought that was interesting about this show that was pretty fascinating was, one, it's got 2 very phenomenal women as the leads. You have Reese Witherspoon, who plays Elena Richardson, who is your typical 1990s housewife who works for a living but is always looking for something more. Typical character that Reese seems to play all the time. Someone who is brilliant, who wants more, and is trying to get her family together to make things happen. Then you have the amazing Kerry Washington, known from Scandal and one of our favorite shows here, American Son, from Netflix. She plays Mia Warren, a woman who seems to be down on her luck as an artist who has a daughter who moves from different cities from place to place. These 2 women manage to crash into each other, their lives do anyway, when when Elena calls the police on Mia because her car is parked in a parking lot because Mia and her daughter are sleeping in their car. And so, we find out that Elena is a real estate agent, and then she rents her an apartment and then offers her a job in her house. Now, you're probably wondering, where does the title Little Fires Everywhere actually come from? As it turns out, in the first scene of the film, someone's house is on fire and it's burning down, and they begin to suspect that someone in Reese's family has probably burned it down. And so it goes from there. The thing is, this is based off of a book in 2017 of the same name by Celeste Negg. And I will say, I've looked at the book before. It's not the easiest book to read, but it's not bad. The show suffers from plot thickness. Anytime we translate a book from a movie, anytime we try and get those 2 things together, turn movie to book, oftentimes writers have to make decisions on what to drop. It seems like they put everything in here. And so there are some times where you're just like, there's so much going on that you can't keep track of it. That being said, if you loved Big Little Lies, if you loved HBO's season 1 of Big Little Lies, then this show will intrigue you. A very important distinction, absolutely. This show will intrigue you because Reese Witherspoon does a fantastic job, Kerry Washington does a fantastic job, and the ensemble cast of characters around them is also pretty good too. I will say The first 3 episodes of Little Fires Everywhere is now available on Hulu. They're 1 hour apiece, and this is a limited series, so there is no season 2, and there will be 8 episodes total. I say watch carefully, maybe wait till all 8 episodes are out, and then smash that Hulu button and go to town.
So you're saying tiptoe into it.
I say tiptoe into it. If anything, it's worth watching because Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon have excellent and dynamic character on stage. I will say at times the movie feels a little forced because it talks about race relations and poverty and who has and has not. And, that's an interesting storyline, but they don't take it from a unique point of view. That being said, the book was written in the 90s. So for a piece of its time, it works really well.
I feel like Hulu does a lot of like booked TV show kind of ideas.
I think they do. And, it works for them. Hey, look, Kerry Washington and Reese, 2 of the greatest actors of our time. Why not watch them in a TV show? Unless it's Big Little Lies season 2. In that case, skip it. I don't care how many times Meryl Streep shows up. She couldn't save this one.
Nope. No, that one that's the whole second season was a giant Titanic. It just.
Well, yeah. Well, speaking of giant Titanics, did you see anything you didn't like, Julian?
No. I saw another thing on Hulu actually that my brother recommended to me because I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this. But do you know the internet rapper Lil Dicky?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Lil Dicky. He was in that song with Chris Brown, right?
Yep. And then he actually did a Planet Earth one, which I thought was pretty fun too. He actually has his own show. So it's FX on Hulu. So and it's called Dave, and it's essentially like following him through his life as Little Dicky, the rapper.
Okay.
And if you sort of like really dumb humor and you obviously like dick jokes, I think you're going to like this show. It comes out every week. It's about a half an hour long. We're about 2 episodes in, and I think it's pretty funny. It's called Dave on Hulu.
So this show is not for me.
No, probably not.
Not a show I would be caught watching.
But what did you watch something good or did you watch something bad?
So I did do my due diligence, did my homework this week. I did watch a show so you would not have to watch. And it is a Netflix show, limited edition series that came out this year. And it is called... I'm sorry. I don't even want to tell you what it's called. I was not happy. But it is called 100 Humans. It's supposed to be one of those shows where they're like, we do experiments on 100 humans to try and answer some questions about life, right?
Yeah.
Does your sperm count correlate to how well you dance, for example? What is the proper way to use the toilet? Like questions that are like, okay, I never thought I'd want to know the answer to that, but
I did see the trailer. The trailer had them
sure.
trying to put the toilet paper on either side. And I thought that's a very important question we as a species need to be asking each other. Because there's really only one way for it to go.
Well, the thing is, though, like if they spent time in the experiments actually answering them with the scientific method, I would have been interested in knowing what the answers to these questions were. But instead, the show is treated as like a giant gag gift at the same time. Because they're like, oh, yeah, like we have 100 people. And like, raise your hand if you think you're attractive. And it's like, okay, raise your hand if you still think you're attractive. And you're kind of like, okay, this is weird. And they have like these little gags they're doing. They make attempts at humor that are deadpan and fall flat very often. And it looks like Netflix rushed the show and they use the same people over and over for the experiments, which means there's not a lot of diversity in the scenes that are set up. So if you watch 100 Humans, you'll be disappointed. But instead of watching 100 Humans, watch Today Explained or Explained on Netflix. They have 2 seasons. Janelle Monáe does the second one. It's called Sex Explained. And it answers some of life's questions, but in a much more pleasing way. And believe me, when Janelle Monáe narrates something, it is worth a watch. So skip 100 Humans. Instead, watch Explained, Season 2, The Secrets of Sex.
Ooh, you just caught my attention. I like how you just like left that little bit on there at the end there. Secrets of Sex. Now you just caught my attention.
Secrets of Sex. See, we'll play the trailer or something in here and you'll be like, whoa, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are 2 good recommendations for the week. And I'm looking forward to taking a look at your recommendation too.
It's so good. It's it's fun to like see these people that you're like, I'm never going to bank there. Or I already knew you were a jerk and now I just actually hate you.
Well, I also say too, like this week I did finish Avenue 5, which was a really good ending and it's completely worth it. Binge Avenue 5 this weekend while you're at home with the kids.
Yep,
Don't let the kids in. Don't let the kids in though.
Don't let the
You're
kids
at home with the kids. The kids are not with you though.
They're in the other room watching Disney Plus.
Hugh Laurie,
and you're watching Avenue 5.
Hugh Laurie pulls out of the park again. The entire series is brilliant. It's on HBO. It is 9 episodes and it is worth a binge. 30 minutes each. Yeah.
So that's a lot of good suggestions for the week. We're here twice this week because we were here talking about Westworld, and we're gonna be here again next week, letting you know what to watch while you're stuck at home.
Yeah.
So if you could do us a favor, share this video, share the podcast with anybody who needs a good recommendation for while they're stuck at home, and we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and make sure you check out our Instagram too. We've got a lot of content on there. And also, we're going to add our list on things that you can watch this week. So when you're at home, you can actually look at something really good as opposed to something really bad like 100 Humans or Black Summer or
Island. We'll never let those things go. They're utterly horrible. The list just grows.
They're not on HBO.
This is very true. HBO tends to not do bad content.
Euphoria.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for watching. And we'll be here again next week.
See you next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Have a good one.
Hey guys, it's Jerry from Watch Again Podcast. Thanks for watching the show. We really appreciate it.
Two people on
Make
this
sure
podcast.
you check.
You got to look up there.
Bruh. Check
watch
out
more things
check out what we have to subscribe.
You got to hit the bell.
And then
hit the bell.
Watch the other videos that we have as well.
Over there.
Dude, are you going to keep you fucking
smash the like button.
Okay, I'm good.
Punch the screen.
I'm done.
What is the vernacular?
I'm good.
What do I tell them to do? Just subscribe, watch some stuff over there, hit the bell for the notifications. I mean, it's not that hard.